Matt Lenihan for Boxing Social in association with William Hill and Empire Fight Sword. Delighted to be joined by Johnny Nelson as always. Johnny, I feel like it's been a while. How's things?
I know, I usually see you popping up in Dubai, the States, you were at the Terence Crawford fight. You're like Alan Usyk. You don't even know who Alan Usyk is, do you?
I've heard of him, but I couldn't tell you what he is or what he does.
You're a traveller. You're doing well, so good on you. You're obviously good at your job.
I'd like to think so. I'm trying. But look, let's talk to you. You're one of the best at breaking down boxing. Izzy Asif, what he's doing for Sheffield, GBM Shows, he's creating a real big fight feel with these small hall shows. How proud are you seeing where these shows have come from to where they're going? It's a real statement, especially for this set.
What Izzy has created, he's trying to give grassroots back the chance to be grassroots, get their friends and their family to be able to afford to sit ringside and watch the young bucks coming through and the beginning of their career. He's got an excellent venue, a new venue at it's new Sheffield Sharks basketball quarters down in Attercliffe. Great venue, really good venue. I think it's the first show that I'll actually run before the basketball on the Friday night. So again, it's groundbreaking because I think it's going to be the perfect venue for putting on fights, and it's a WBO lightweight title as well. So I think, again, a couple of titles on the show. Get the fans there. It'll be absolutely packed out. I think it's the night before Warrington boxing at the arena as well. So again, good time to be in Sheffield for the boxing.
It's worked out quite well for him in terms of you've got that fight on the Saturday. The eyes of the media will all be in town anyway, so he'll get a lot of attention for this. Just quickly touch on the fight between Josh Warrington and Leigh Wood.
Yeah.
If you're looking at current form, I think you'd be a fool to not say that Leigh Wood would maybe go into this as a slightly favourite, but Josh has got a lot to prove. Opportunity to become 3-time world champion. Talk to me about that fight.
I know Leigh Wood. I know him very well. Very classy, skillful fighter. I've got a lot of time for him. The one thing you've got to remember is always Warrington is an animal. He's a consistent, fit animal. He'll keep the pressure on and on and on. Now, sometimes some stars drop a little. I think Josh Warrington still has enough to not be overlooked by Leigh Wood. And Leigh Wood, you know what? He's got to be strong. He's got to be firm. He's got to be focused in his boxing ability, because that'll win him the fight. Josh Warrington may not be the fighter he was, but the fighter he is could still beat Leigh Wood. And if Leigh Wood's not on form.
I want to pick up on just something that Terence Crawford said the other day. I know sort of going around the topics here, but I want to get them all in. He'd been to a few interviews saying that he would fight Canelo Alvarez. Originally he said 158. That's then gone up an extra £10 because he's on about legacy. As good as Terence Crawford is, pound for pound right now, don't think anyone can question best in the world, aside from maybe Inoue, who I think is probably a close second. Canelo anyway, what are we saying?
Historically in our sport, you see good fighters and great fighters bite off a little more than they can chew. We saw Roy Jones do it when he stepped up to heavyweight, won, but came back down. He was never the same fighter again. We've seen Canelo step up, get turned over, you know, and Crawford, even though he has all the skills in the world, a good big one will always beat a good little one. And even though Canelo may not be the fighter he was, the fighter he is, I think stepping up to fight an accomplished, strong, confident Canelo. Why? Make Canelo come down to you? Then have the conversation. Why are you dancing on his dance floor? And so I just think I wouldn't do it. I think your people are now giving you props for your ability and who you are, what you can achieve. So why do it?
Canelo's got his own fight as well with another guy who's jumping up a couple of weights in Jermell, Charlo. Jermell, you can tell in the face-off, he's naturally a bigger guy than Canelo, even though Canelo's been fighting at them higher weights. What chance do you give Jermell against a guy like Canelo? Jermell has always seemed to want the big fights, the tough fights. He's run fights back where the draw against Castano and the defeat to Tony Harrison at the time. So he's always sort of kind of, you know, bit down on his gum shield and wrote the wrongs where they've gone in his career. Chance to give him against Canelo?
Against Canelo, as I said, his star slipped, but I think Canelo is no fool. I think Canelo's skill, pressure, pace will be too much. And of course, you might scream and shout for the big fights. You know, that brings big money, brings big attention. But realistically, you know, there's a chance, but it's a slim one. I think it'd be it's a bums on seat kind of fight. But again, I'd side with Canelo, even though his star's slipped. His star is still up there, high up there. And you can't take it for granted. This is why you can take these fights. This is why everyone wants to fight, because they know that's where their money is. But they also know, with the money comes the price. It's a tough fight.
Seen a lot of news last week, a lot surrounding tests in boxing and failed tests. Alicia Baumgartner, an adverse finding in hers.
Yeah.
This comes off the back of the Dillian White saga, off the back of the long-term saga with Conor Benn. I suppose my question is, how sick are you of seeing this now? Because people are getting in the ring and they're risking their lives in the sport. People are getting changed permanently, and we're seeing this happen. It's a complex situation, but what's your thoughts?
If you're going to cheat, you're going to cheat. That's in your DNA. That's who you are. I think again, it's down to the governing bodies to they're the ones that are going to make the difference. The governing bodies are the ones that can only make a change. If it's a slap on the wrist, why would it deter anybody else? If it's a ban for everybody, you and everybody in your team for a certain amount of time, let's just see if it decreases. Let's just see if these findings carry on happening. The only person that suffers is the fighter. And you're not telling me the fighter's the only person that knows about the gear he's taking. And I'm not saying everybody's team knows, but I'm quite sure if the responsibility of his team's living depended on him, if he failed or passed the drug test, he'd think twice about cheating. The consequences aren't high enough, hard enough, harsh enough for cheating. So, like it or not, it'll keep happening. And keep happening. It's down to the governing bodies to say, right, here in the UK, it's down to the British Boxing One of Control to come up with something drastic, controversial, where people say, oh my God, that's bullshit. This is what needs to be done. Otherwise, this will happen until somebody, and it will happen,
It's coming.
until somebody gets killed by a drug cheat. And then it's criminal charges. And then it affects the whole sport. Unfortunately, our sport is that stupid, we shoot ourselves in the foot. And we hinder our own development. So let's move forward with the times and make some radical changes to drug cheating.
Ideally before the inevitable happens, because that unfortunately I do think that is going to happen one day, and we'll all look back and kick ourselves and go, why did no one do it?
You know what, we won't kick ourselves, because we'll have the conversation, and it's the power's not with me, the power's not with you, the power's not with anybody else that is brave enough to speak out. The people that have the power to make this difference, it's them. They're the ones where the pressure will be on them. Not me. I say what I say. I'll stick to it.
Next week, Daniel Dubois has the test of Oleksandr Usyk. Frank Warren, look everyone dead in the eye and saying, look, he's all the ability to knock this man out. What do you make of the matchup? What chance do you give Daniel Dubois going to this as understandably an underdog?
Frank's right. He's got all the ability. He's got the punch power to knock this guy out. That's all. He has the punch power to knock him out. And Daniel's proved that. I think that's all he's got. It's not. I don't think it's going to be enough to beat Oleksandr Usyk, and that's where the problem is. So let's focus on what Daniel can do. He has the power, and he has a punch to knock him out. But that's it. So that's the one thing, that one minute second we got to wait for in that fight. I'd love Daniel to win. I'd love him to win. It's a Brit. Huge. Yeah, I want to back the Brit, and that was properly flip the chart over, thinking, oh my God, nobody expected that. Let's be honest. And if Frank's honest, let's be honest, he don't think his boy's going to win. He hopes his boy's going to win. Most people watching hope he's going to win. I'm one of them that hope, but realistically, he's got a big mountain to climb, And if he turns him on and wins, slapping him back, say, yo, well done. I didn't think you could do that, but you've done it. So let's be honest with him. Let's not try and be smart and make it as though we're Nostradamus.
It's going to be interesting. I'm going to be there for it. I can't wait to see how it's going to pan out. Quickly, Anthony Joshua has just come off a 7th round knockout of Robert Helenius. I know you've been over this now. I think yourself, David Hay, Tony Bellew, I think you've sort of all alluded to the fact that maybe not Deontay Wilder next, maybe another fight. AJ, even after the fight, said he wants to get back out this year. Do you believe Deontay Wilder will happen next, and do you believe that would be a wise choice for him to be next?
So it depends on what hat you're wearing. If you're wearing Eddie Hearn's hat, the bigger interest, the bigger purse, the bigger money is with Deontay Wilder next. If you're Anthony Joshua, He said it in the ring. I want trying to get 2 fights in this year. You know, he wants to build that consistency, that confidence back up again. He wants that, and that's that. I'd go with that. Because nobody's saying he hasn't got the ability. What they're saying is what he's showing shows he doesn't believe in the ability he has to step in with Wilder next on the last 2 fights that he's had. He's got the knockout win against Wilder. He got the job done. That was great, but up to that point, most things I saw in the fight were getting turned over against Wilder, which is a hard fight anyway. And I said Anthony Joshua has they're winning him, they're beating him. But the age that we're seeing, he just needs to get his mojo back, get that belief and get his shit back.
Just to pick up on that, I know a lot of people are favouring Wilder for this, but in terms of Joshua, we all know since the Andy Ruiz fight we've seen a difference in him. But in terms of Deontay Wilder, since the 3 fights with Tyson Fury, where he's took a lot of punishments and he'll have his own vulnerabilities coming in, he's had less than a full round against Robert Helenius. Do you see the vulnerabilities there in Deontay that maybe Anthony Joshua could pick up on?
Well, Tyson Fury exposed those vulnerabilities. If you take it to Deontay Wilder and fully believe in what you can do, it took 3 fights to Tyson Fury to smash Deontay Wilder the way he did. So that should tell you everything. So therefore, there's your blueprint. Your blueprint for beating Wilder. Up to that point, Wilder just said, "I need a split second. That's all I need in 12 rounds. Just a split second." So nothing's changed. That split second is always available in that 12 rounds. He just needs it. So the blueprint is there. Tyson Fury's proved that. Took him 3 fights to show this is how easy it is to beat this guy. But Tyson Fury, the best fighter heavyweight in the world. And eventually once he got it. Now, guys need to look at that. How do I beat Deontay Wilder? Do I try and box in? They can box off the back foot. The Cuban did that and got sparked. He switched off for a split second. Take it to him, like Tyson Fury did, rough him up, fight fire with fire. Take it to him, make him box in the back foot. We saw that in the first fight, we saw that in the second fight, we definitely saw it work in the third fight.
Well, look, John, it's been an absolute pleasure catching up. I know you got a day here with the GBM boys and whatever you're getting on with, so I'll let you get off. Thanks for catching up. Hopefully it won't be this long in between next time. And yeah, we'll
then see you in Manchester, hopefully. If you can manage to get there, so...
Liam Smith, Eubank, we're doing that one. I'll be doing this Sheffield one, and I'll be doing Warrington, so if you're around, we'll catch up then.
I'll be around, just stuck with me.